Hello and welcome to this PalmSens unboxing video. Today I want to see what's inside the Sensit Wearable Development Kit, and I will perform already my first measurement. So let's get started and see what's inside. Of course, inside we find the star of the show, the Sensit Wearable, which is this small potentiostat. Also we find in there a breakout board, and that is, in case you don't know what a breakout board is, a very handy device to test your Sensit Wearable because it has these contacts which connect with the pins underneath the Sensit Wearable and connect the electrode connections of the Sensit Wearable to these screw terminal and to this port for sensor cable. If you want to mount your Sensit Wearable on the breakout board, just look for the little dot that's on it. It's, by the way, at the same point where the USB-C port is. And you have here on the mounting bracket a small dot. You just put them on top of each other. You turn clockwise 45 degrees. You hear it click. And now your Sensit Wearable is on the breakout board. Okay. Also, you will find, of course, the software and all the documentation you need to get started with your, Sensit Wearable Development Kit on this USB stick. You get also on this, elastic Velcrostrap, you get this PCB that also allows you, with this mounting brackets, to mount the Sensit Wearable here, and then it's connected to these contact pads. And they're just, rather generic contact pads, so you can solder, for example, an SPE connector to it, or something else that you would like to connect. Then you will find in there a USB-C cable, so you can connect your Sensit Wearable for charging it, for example, or for communication. Then you will find one of our sensor cables in there that has on one side a connection for this port, and on the other side 5 banana plugs. So the 5 banana plugs are red for the working electrode, blue for the reference, black for the counter, green for ground, and the yellow marked one is for the second working electrode, because you can use the Sensit Wearable as a bipod as well. Okay, then you will of course get matching crocodile clips for your sensor cable. Then we have the mounting brackets. The mounting brackets you can just use to, glue them on something else that you want to use. If these are not enough mounting brackets for you, don't worry, you will get the 3D step file for the mounting bracket, and with that you can print your own mounting brackets with the 3D printer. Also in the box you will find these SPE connectors. These are typical SPE connectors that we also use in other products. You can screw them, for example, into the screw terminals, or maybe you want to solder them to the connector pads on this strap. Then we have a dummy cell in there with 3 different test circuits that will make it very easy for you to evaluate the Sensit Wearable with measurements where you know exactly what the result should be. And in case you find a video a bit too quick and maybe you prefer reading by yourself, you will find, of course, a user manual where also you will find advice for the first measurement. But before we get to the first measurement, I want to show you 2 more things. Because with your Sensit Development Kit, you will also receive example patches for possible wearable applications. So we have here a self-adhesive patch with a mounting bracket from the company ScreenTag, which are located in Finland. And we have a second one, which is a bit bigger, also self-adhesive, from the company Lohmann, located in Germany. These 2 companies, they already know the Sensit Wearable, so in the case that you want to make custom patches for wearable applications, they are good partners to get prototypes really quickly into your lab. Now, after we have dealt with all the items that you find in the box, let's do our first measurement. Okay, for that, I already mounted my Sensit Wearable on the breakout board. Now I need to connect my test circuit. So I want to use our dummy cell. So for this, I will use our sensor cable. I just have here the red dot, and I look for the red dot on this port. and then I just shove it in and I am connected. Now I need to connect the crocodile clips. For this test measurement, I just require the reference counter and working electrode. So I'm looking for the red clip for the working electrode, the blue clip for the reference electrode, and the black clip for the counter electrode. And these I'm connecting to our dummy cell. Our dummy cell has multiple circuits. My first measurements will be an impedance spectroscopy, and a great circuit for that is the Randall circuit, which is the WEC on our dummy cell. So I connect the working electrode to the WEC, I connect the reference electrode to the RE patch, and the counter electrode, the black one, to the CE patch. Now, the last thing I need to do after I've set up my cell is actually switch on the Sensit Wearable. So I just press it, and then you see here a blinking blue light. It's slowly blinking, and that indicates it's ready to get connected and receive commands. Well, how do we send commands? Well, I will connect via our software PSTrace and Bluetooth to the Sensit Wearable. So let's have a look. So first, let's get connected to our Sensit Wearable. For that, you first press the Bluetooth button, and once it has looked for Bluetooth devices, you will get a list with a lot of letters and numbers. Which one is now your Sensit Wearable? Well, if you take the box and look inside the lid, you will find the name and a PIN code to connect the first time to this Sensit Wearable. So I'm looking for PS0521. And now I'm connecting to it. Since this is the first time I'm connecting to this device, I will be asked for a PIN code. You find that PIN code also in the box. So I have here my PIN code. And then I press enter to connect. For my first measurement, I want to make it as easy as possible for me and very convenient. So I will load a measurement that has already been pre-installed when I installed PSTrace. So for that, I just go to Data. I go to Load Data File. And well, I'm already in the folder, but just to show you where it is. Under your documents, there is now a folder installed called PS Data. And you just look for the subfolder EIS examples, and therefore Sensit dummy EIS. And I'm opening that file. Okay, so now I have loaded the curve, so I see how that curve is supposed to look like. And the parameters of the measurements have been loaded at the same time. So if I want to compare my new measurement to this old measurement, I just have to select here Overlay, and then I press Run, and the impedance spectroscopy is starting. Now you have seen what's inside the Sensit Wearable Development Kit, and you've seen how easy it is to make your first measurement. That was all that I wanted to show you today. If you found this video helpful, please follow us on LinkedIn to not miss any updates, and subscribe to us on YouTube so you don't miss any other videos. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.